At the start of this movie, a girl named Emma appears who is beautiful in appearance. Emma is the most intelligent girl in her college. All the boys in this college admire Emma's beauty, so all the boys try to flirt with this girl. On the other hand, Dean is a lazy boy. Dean used to spend most of his time alone. He didn't like meeting people and arguing with them at all. Seeing Dean's habits, no student in the college wanted to be friends with him. Then after a few days, one of the teachers in Dean and Emma's class announced that all the students in this class should travel to Ireland. There is a project behind this tour, which all the students have to complete together. Since they are in the same class, both Emma and Dean become part of this tour. Although Dean wasn't interested in any girl in the college, Emma liked Dean when she saw his reclusive nature. The next day after the tour was announced in the classroom, all the students arrived at the designated place with their teacher. After arriving on this island, all the boys and girls have a lot of fun with each other. But after a long time, with the insistence of the teacher, all the students start working on their project. It is evening while all the students are working. Then everyone leaves work and goes to their own rooms. Here, Emma's friends are planning to go to a night party. Emma did not want to go anywhere to this unknown place at night, so she refused to let all her friends join the party. After listening to Emma, all her friends start asking her. But Emma does not like to go to the party. Then after that, all her friends forcefully take her with them. After a while, all these people reach the boat where the party starts. Then in the middle of the party, some policemen come on this boat and start checking the people. Because of the drugs and narcotics found on this boat, the news of this reaches the local police in the area. As a result, the local police in the area come on this boat and start checking all the people present here. After some time, the police ask some girls to go to one side, then all the girls start to go to one side. Then Emma's foot slips off the boat and she falls into the sea. Here, when Dean sees Emma drowning, he jumps into the sea and reaches a small boat while rescuing Emma. However, the rope of this boat is tied to the ship, which is being held by the police. Dean cuts the rope tied to the ship upon seeing the police, and as a result, Dean and Emma's boat moves away from here. Because their boat is far away, the policemen on board try hard to find them, but they are nowhere to be seen. Then all the people on the boat leave from there, thinking that Emma and Dean must have lost their way by now. The next day, a teacher discusses with all the students the incident that happened last night, and then this teacher cancels this tour, and all the students start to go home. The next day, news of Emma's disappearance reaches her family. Here, Emma and Dean are stranded in the middle of the sea with their small boat. After hours, Dean sees another island. Emma also feels happy. Then Dean somehow takes this boat to that island. After reaching this island, Emma and Dean feel very relaxed. On the other hand, Dean and Emma's family members start inquiring about their children by going to college, and both of them get little information about their children. Based on this information, Emma's mother and Dean's father start investigating their children together. Here, after Dean and Emma reach the other island, they start searching for a hotel and people here. In search of a house and people, they both went very far in this island. When they didn't find anything on the island, they returned to their boat. But unfortunately, their boat disappeared from here. Now on this island, they don't have any such means, and with its help they can go to their home. Finally, after getting tired and exhausted, they decide to stay in Ireland and wait for someone to come to Ireland. After some time, because of the night, they decide to camp in one place and sleep there after lighting a fire. The next morning, Dean goes to the seaside and enjoys and starts to take a bath. Then Emma goes to another place on the island to get water in a bottle. Here Emma is alone. Then suddenly strange sounds start coming from the forest here. Emma gets very scared after hearing such a sound. After some time, Emma takes the water from the bottle and runs from there. After a long time, Emma and Dean meet together and start talking to each other. Then both of them start planning to build a hut on this island. After some time, both of them start building their hut. Then their hut is ready. Now the living arrangements are made for both of them, but the food problem still remains. Then both of them reach some trees and plants in the forest in search of food, where they find coconuts and bananas. They drink the coconuts and start eating bananas until they are full. After some time, they return to their hut with lots of bananas. Meanwhile, the relationship between the two starts to grow, and Dean now starts to like Emma. Emma also starts to feel safe with Dean, which makes Emma get closer to him. It has been more than a month since Emma and Dean got lost. The police of their area have now accepted that Dean and Emma might have drowned in the sea. Later, the police here started searching for their bodies. Dean and Emma's family still thinks well of their children because they hope that they are still alive. Thinking of all these things, the family still continues to search for them. Now, something interesting will happen in the upcoming movie scene. One day, Emma and Dean were on their way to somewhere on this island, and suddenly Emma saw a human skeleton. When she saw this skeleton, Emma felt very scared and started crying, thinking to herself. When Dean saw Emma scared, he approached her, hugged her and started to console her. When she listened to Dean's words, Emma started to see sympathy for herself in Dean's words. When she heard Dean's words, Emma hugged him, and then Dean looked into her eyes, felt Emma's touch, and came close to her and started to kiss her. After some time, they separated from each other and started going to their cabin. It was now night, so Dean gathered some wood around him and started burning it. Then Dean and Emma sat next to each other and started talking. After some time, Dean got very close to Emma, and then they got engrossed in each other. In this dark night, they start getting closer to each other without any worries. The next morning, Dean leaves Emma sleeping and goes away. After some time, Emma wakes up, but she doesn't see Dean there. Emma gets very upset after not finding Dean there and starts looking for him everywhere. After covering some distance, Emma sees Dean there, who is digging a hole in the ground to bury the skeleton. When Emma sees Dean, she starts going towards him, but suddenly Emma's foot slips and she falls. Then Dean takes Emma from there and they go somewhere and start talking to each other. After some time, Dean starts telling Emma about his mother. Dean tells that after his mother's death, he doesn't like anything, so he prefers to stay alone most of the time. On the other hand, after spending so much time, Dean and Emma's family members also get disappointed and stop looking for them and assume that their children might not be alive now. Here, Dean and Emma start spending most of their time close to each other due to being alone in Ireland. They both were so lost in each other that they started having an intimate relationship anywhere in Ireland according to their desires. After getting deep into the intimate relationship, they sit together and start planning to leave Ireland. Emma and Dean were on their way to somewhere in the forest of Ireland, when they both saw a helicopter flying over Ireland. Dean raised his hand and called out as soon as he saw the helicopter. Dean then remembers the player's gun, so he goes to his bag and starts searching for the signal gun. When he doesn't find the player's gun, Dean looks towards the helicopter and tries to call it so that he can get someone to help him. After some time, Emma reaches here and they both start fighting with each other. Then Dean hears an animal sound from the jungle. Dean starts heading towards that sound after hearing it. After covering some distance, Dean sees a black panther. Dean gets very scared after seeing that black panther and tries to run away from there. After covering some distance, that black panther and Dean fall on the ground. Here, Dean is seen completely covered in blood. After some time, Emma reaches there. Then Dean wakes up and looks at Emma and tells her that he killed that black panther with that knife. The next day, the player's lost gun for both of them is found near a monkey in this jungle. After some time, they again hear the sound of a helicopter over Ireland. This time, Dean player calls the helicopter while shooting. Then the pilot in the helicopter sees the two of them over Ireland and takes them to the airport. Here at the airport, their respective families meet their children and they are very happy. Then they both go to their homes. The next day, Dean goes to Emma's house and tries to get close to her. But Emma no longer wants to get close to Dean in this way, so she rejects Dean. The next day, Emma was at a party at her house where Dean was also present, but Emma ignored him everywhere. After this incident, Dean now started to distance himself from Emma. But later, Emma realizes that she might still love Dean as much as he loves her. Then one day, Emma calls Dean, but Dean disconnects the call after seeing Emma's call. After a few days, there is a party in the college where Emma is also present. After some time, Dean also arrives there. Dean starts proposing to Emma in private. Emma then accepts Dean's proposal and they start hugging each other. Finally, the movie ends.